Good evening, students. I hope you are well. Today we are going to do subject-verb agreement. We just finished with shift in verbs, and with that we have to do with subject and verb agreement. Now, what is subject and verb agreement? Let us just have a look. Now, subject and verb agreement refers to the fact that the subject and the verb in a sentence must agree in number. In other words, they must be singular or they both must be plural. Now, you cannot have a singular subject with a plural verb, and you cannot have a plural subject with a singular verb. Only in some cases, rare cases, we have that kind of an arrangement, but also it should meet some criteria. Okay, so let's kickstart the class. Understanding the subject and verb. Let's first understand the subject is always a noun or pronoun, and we have at length learned about nouns and pronouns, so I presume that it is very clear. If not, please visit the nouns and pronouns, noun agreement and pronoun agreement classes. They are separate sessions. They are on the YouTube. You can just watch them. Now, apart from that, when we are talking verbs, we completed with verbs in the last session, and anybody who does not understand that can just go and view it. You will really like it. Okay, the next one that comes is subject verb agreement. As we all know that we are talking about the subject, and in the subject we'll have the noun or the pronoun, and in the verb we have the action word. Now, the tricky part is in knowing the singular and the plural form of verbs or subjects and verbs. Okay, so let's check how it is going to go, and what are the exceptions, and is there a change in rule, where does it change, and all that stuff. So singular and plural subjects or nouns are usually pretty easy. In most cases, the plural form noun has an yes and the end this. So let's see what it ends like. It's a singular one, and this is the plural one. So therefore, the example says, here are a few proper construction subjects and verbs along with a few incorrect formulations. So let's have a look at it. The first thing is that we need to understand that there is no, whenever you have a singular verb, it should always go with a single noun or a pronoun. So therefore, understand this the correct way. I walk. Now, we all know that only in case when we were doing in the last class also, only in the third person we have this problem where we cannot have a proper when the third person singular form, we always use different form adding an yes, and we do not use the regular walk format. In the first person and in the second person you will have walk, and in the third person singular form you will have walks. So therefore, whenever you have a third person singular and plural, you will always have to use the verb and walks. Okay, so I walk, you walk, both singular and plural. There is no plural form in I, so therefore it goes like this. In the singular and plural form, you can go with this. The third one is the third person singular and singular form, where it is you have to use the yes part, and in the plural form you will have to use we walk. So there, this is going to make it all the more better, and is also going to give work it out well, because you understand what is the format and how it has to go forward. And in the third person plural form, again we use the same format, so therefore we don't have to get confused with it. The incorrect examples are walks, she walk, I walks, she walks, and they walks. So this is basically the incorrect examples of the thing. So let's go to the next one. The subject-verb agreement, different constructions. What are they? For simple sentences, subject and verb agreement is not difficult to figure out. But for example, John is leaving. It is as simple as that. Example, they are leaving. I cannot use John are leaving or they is leaving, but otherwise we can use this form. Okay, so these sentences are incredibly simple, which means it's also incredibly simple to determine the correct subject and the verb case. So therefore, we don't have to bother or worry whether it is the same thing that we're doing or it's something different. It's the same. When it comes simple sentences and simple subjects and verb, it's understandable. But the only problem comes when we use pronouns, when we use different things. That's when the problem comes. You have to determine whether it is a singular countable noun or an uncountable noun, blah blah blah. Okay, so let's go to the next one. When phrases come between the subject and verb. When a phrase interrupts the subject and the verb, verb must agree with the subject regardless of the phrase. So when we say this, we need to understand that when you are using the relative pronouns or the relative conjunctions, relative pronouns or the conjunctions, we have to understand which we are using. For example, we have something called who and whose. We need to understand what exactly we are using, what is the subject there, and what is the action that we are using. There will be a lot of ambiguity. Especially in case of a simple sentence, it does not matter. But in case of a complex sentence, there will be a lot of, ambiguity if you don't use the right, verb form, or you don't use the right noun form. So that is where it is going to be very tricky, especially in case of complex sentences and complex compound sentences. When you have the first subject, you have the second subject, the first object, second object, that's when it gets messy. And then, so therefore, that's the reason you need to make sure that you are playing in the right manner. Okay, so the next one is, the example for this is, a man who plays soccer is handsome. This is important. The men who play soccer are handsome. So what are there in the bold letters? You have to use them. The same way, that toy which I found woven is ruined. Okay, so that is also very important, to understand, what goes where. For example, that toy which I found in the oven are ruined, you will ruin the sentence also. Okay, that's about this thing. Then the rules. There are particular rules that we have to follow in the subject and verb agreement to make it more easier, so that we don't fumble and we understand where we are going wrong and blast and stuff like that. So let's start. Rule number 1, the subject and the verb must agree in number. Both must be singular or both must be plural. This is the first rule. Rule number 2, number of the subject, singular or plural, is not changed by words. It comes in between the subject and verb. So let's see what does it mean. The number. So for example, here if I have 1, then I am going to use a singular verb. If I have plural noun, I will have a singular subject, plural subject. Okay, so this is what it goes. So if you have a singular noun, you will have a singular verb. If you have a plural subject or a noun, you will have a plural verb. I think this is very, very clear. The subject is not changed by words come in between the subject and the verb. So whatever is the subject between the subject and the noun, they need not changed by the words. So therefore we have checked that also. Some subjects always take a singular noun even though meaning they seem plural. For example, now here police is coming as a right usage. The police officers are coming is the right usage. let us use are here. Okay, so you have to understand the police is coming and police officers are coming. So therefore, in this police, there could be one police officer or there could be 100, but we definitely use is, because but only in case when we are saying officers, only we are going to use are. In the first format also, it is possible that there are few officers who are coming, but we still use is, because police is an uncountable noun. Okay, it is plural in form, but yet it uses singular verbs. The following words may be singular or plural depending upon their use in a sentence. For example, some, any, all, most. Yet they use a singular noun depending on them. For example, let's take an example. We say somebody is coming, anybody is coming. Most of them, only when you say most of them are coming. So you have to understand everyone is coming, right? So then in that case we have to use only the singular verb. Even though might look, they might sometimes, some of them are coming, we use the plural format. But in cases someone is coming, so because we have added one, we will be going to use a singular verb too. Okay, let's go to the next one. Rules joined and are plural. Subjects joined by or are or nor take a verb that agrees with the last subject. For example, see, Radha and Mohan are coming. Right? When you are adding the sentences with an and, it is what we are going to use. The next one is neither Radha nor Mohan is coming. Now, neither Radha either Radha or her friends are coming. Now the trick here is that whenever you add two pieces of nouns and you use an and, in that case you are going to use a plural verb. Radha and Mohan are coming. But in case when you are using neither Radha nor Mohan is coming, in that case both Radha and Mohan are single entities, and we are saying that neither this will come nor that will come. That is fine because both of them are singular. Therefore, I am saying is. But in case I have a plural noun there, right? I have one singular noun and one plural noun. In that case, whichever noun is placed next to the verb, take the singular format or the plural format of the verb. For example, either Radha or her friends are coming. In this case, either Radha is coming or her friends are coming. In it, we can also do it this way. either Radha or my friends are coming. That makes sense. Imagine the other way around. Either my friends or Radha is coming. This is the way you should be using. See, in this case, you check that which one is coming near the sub. That way you are going to use that verb. See, here in this case we are talking Ra or my friends. Therefore, my is plural, therefore I am using a plural verb. In the third sentence, I am saying either my friends or Radha is coming. So, now technically it should be are. Therefore, you should try to make sure that you place the subjects in such a manner that you can, wherever you are having the plural verb, plural noun, you can have the plural verb. Otherwise, whichever is nearer to the verb, the noun takes, whichever is nearer to the noun, the verb takes the same position. In this case, either Radha or my friends are coming. My friends are plural and it's nearer to the verb, therefore I used are. In the third sentence, I say either my friends or Radha is coming. Because Radha is singular, I have used a singular verb. Clear? I hope this is clear now. Let's go to the next one. There and here are never subjects. In sentences that begin with these words, the subject is usually found later on in the sentence. Okay? Here is the key Rajiv was looking for. Now here is basically the space. So therefore, or there, the place or the location. So please don't use it as a noun. Even if the sentence starts with them, please understand the noun is somewhere else. Therefore, that has to be used. Let's go to the next one. Next rule. Collective nouns may be singular or plural depending on their use in the sentence. The team is practicing, team members are practicing. So depending on the collective noun which one it takes, we are going to use that. For example, we are talking about the team. Team is a single unit, therefore I can use it as a collective noun and I am going to use a singular verb. Provided in the next sentence I have the members. Now members is plural. Even though the team is a singular unit, yet the members is plural in number, therefore I have to use the plural verb. Let's go to the next rule. The rule is some nouns, while plural in form, are actually singular in meaning. Now, there are something we talk about different things. They are basically plural in form, but we talk about it in the singular form. In that case, we are going to use a singular verb. For example, the police, the staff is working day and night. So, the staff is definitely not one person, but yet we are using the staff. So, therefore, when you have this sentence, while plural in form are actually singular in meaning. So, now the staff can be singular and can be plural too, but we have to use it in a singular form, right? That in that cases we have to make sure that how is it being projected. The next one is rule number 9. Doesn't is a contraction of does not and should not be used only with a singular subject. Don't is a contraction of do not, should be used only with a plural subject. For example, he does not know it. They don't know it. So when we say he, we use doesn't. He doesn't know. They don't know. This is singular in usage, does not is singular in usage, and don't is plural in usage. Okay, let's go to next one. Rule number 10. Nouns as civics, mathematics, dollars and news require single verbs. News is available at 6 p.m. In this case, we will not say pieces of news are. Pieces of luggage is. Luggage is. Even though you might have 10 pieces of luggage, we still say luggage is readable, or luggage is traceable, or luggage is available, or luggage has already arrived. So whatever you use, luggage is a, though it looks plural in form, yet it requires only singular verb. Math. If you're talking about math, it has to be math or mathematics. Physics, civics, dollars are all used with singular verbs. Physics is more technical, or physics is more creative or imaginative, you use it. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let's answer some of the following questions to understand how we are going it. Apart from this, I would like to tell you something, that one thing that you have to understand, the subject-verb agreement. Whenever we say in this case, when we say the poet, the singer, it means they are two people, because and an article again says that they are two people. But in this case, you will see we are talking about the same poet who is also a singer is coming. So whenever you see options that say that use this and use a singular verb, that means the sentence is wrong. In the same manner, if you have two articles and then you have a singular verb, that usage is also wrong. Therefore, we should always be very keen in understanding what is it that it is deriving. For example, if it is going wrong, make sure that you understand the basics and apply the logic. We have some questions here. Let's see how are we going to be able to do. So this is basically Alma and brother Joe's has won the state robotics competition for high school students. Let's see options and see which one goes. You have 30 seconds to answer each question and you will go. Okay, now, Alma and her brother Jose. So we have two people here. Therefore, has is basically a singular, perfect tense, like has a car, that means it's singular in usage. Therefore, we cannot have that. Therefore, we cannot have no change as an option at all. Let's go to the next one and check which one is the right answer. Definitely, again, there are two people. Therefore, is warning. Now, if at all you say Alma, comma, along with her brother Jose, has won the state robotics is the right usage. Alma, as well as her brother Jose, has won the state robotics competition for high school students is also right, because the phrases as well as or along, these basically talk about the subject. The subject will then be Alma, and the Jose is just a complement that is used, that is complement. Okay. Therefore, in this cases, we could have used the same option, but that's not the case. We are talking about two different subjects. Therefore, that cannot be the answer. Is again used for singular verbs, singular nouns. Therefore, that is also a wrong option. Was is also used in past participle singular verbs, subjects. Therefore, that is also removed. The only thing that remains is have one. I hope this is clear. Let's go to the next question. We only have 3 weeks until our fall issue goes to print. Say Elena as a reminder to the Life and Art magazine editors who lagged on deadline. These are the 4 options that we have. Now here says say. Now basically this is in past tense. Therefore, because we only have 3 weeks until our fall issue goes to print. So somebody was talking about this is in direct speech. Whenever it is in direct speech and you have someone who had said that, therefore at that point of time this say will take a past tense. Therefore, the only answer that is right here is a D. I hope it is clear. You always use a past tense whenever you quote something in the direct speech. And this has been quoted. These words are basically by Alina. Therefore, it says said Alina. Okay, let's go to the next question. Therefore, the answers cannot be even have to be checked also, because that's the primary rule that whenever a direct sentence is given in quotation marks, the first person who has spoken it is definitely an said option. Something that has been spoken. Therefore, that has to be the past tense. Let's go to the next question. Abdullah was pumping the brakes gingerly as if it were raining. Maybe I should consider his exit, he said under his breath. In this question, you have two problems. You have a word here which has not been underlined. Therefore, whenever you use a word, it is basically a plural format and it is in the past tense. So therefore, if you have a past tense here and you have a word here, that means you should have minimum two people. Therefore, Abdullah, you should require one more person for this. Let's see if it is Abdullah were pumping. It has to be was pumping as if it were raining. Now, here the problem is not there. The problem is here. Please understand that. Sometimes you will find this kind of mistakes. Make sure that you identify them. Here we have a singular form. This is a singular subject. Therefore, it has to take a singular verb. Therefore, the answer is was. Because it is in plural format, we bring it in the singular format, singular verb. As if it were raining. Whenever we talk about the future, we can use that, that phrase as it were raining is the right usage. Clear? Let's go to the next one. Anyone who has traveled to foreign countries understand the importance of getting immunization shots. Now we are talking about anyone. Therefore, anyone is one singular subject. Therefore, with a singular subject, we always require singular verb. Therefore, the answer is without doubt it is B. Let's go to the next question. I hope this is clear, as we have already discussed that singular verb, singular subject will always have an S in the verb form, right? Third person singular form subject will definitely have an yes is a singular form of verb in the verb format. So therefore, this is the right answer. Here, I hope I don't have to explain this again. It's a similar kind of a question. Everyone in the seminar believes. Again, as in previous question, here also we have one. Remember rule number 7, where we said that you have one with some or any or every or each, it has to be a singular verb. Therefore, the answer is 2. Let's go to the next one. Writing have been invented in summer around 3200 BC, marking the beginning of recorded history. Now, writing is an abstract noun, right? Can you measure or can you say writing? No. And it's an abstract noun. Therefore, all abstract nouns, material nouns and collective nouns, they all take singular verbs. Only in case of collective nouns, if there is one more noun that defines the team members or the jury members or the committee members, then we have to use a plural verb. Otherwise, we always use a single verb with collective nouns. Okay? So now, if it is basically we always use singular nouns verbs with plural. With collective nouns. If it becomes the group, the team members, in that case, the team there does not remain a collective noun anymore. It becomes an adjective actually. Okay? So let's go to the next one. So what are the options? writing have been invented? B is the right answer. This is basically a passive sentence. In passive sentence, you been is used in passive sentence, and here basically it was has been, it would have been a right sentence, but because has been option is not there, we are going to choose was or the B one. So therefore we are going to use B. Awarded a Newbery Medal, Doll Bones are the story of three children's quest to return haunted doll to its proper gravesite. Let's see the options. Let's check the question now. Now, doll bones is the name, and it does not mean we are talking about bones. Therefore, the answer is 2. Clear? Let's go to the next question. After discovering that children who grow up on farms are less likely to suffer from asthma and allergies, researchers is trying to isolate the compounds in farm dust that leads to this protection. So let's check the options and try the answer. We have a plural subject here. Therefore, we have to use a plural noun, plural verb. The answer is are trying. Let's go next option. Although he had a great sense of timing, Billy's career as a stand comic were handicapped by his poor memory. Let's see the options. Here, we are talking about a singular person. Therefore, we have to use, instead of were, we are going to use a singular verb, was. Let's go to the next question. Since restaurants rarely skimps on high ingredients like butter and salt, some researchers now say that sit-down restaurant food is naturally, nutritionally no better than fast food. Let's see the options. This is basically a difficult one. Since restaurants rarely skimp, since restaurants is rarely skimping, since restaurants has rarely skimped. It's a very simple one. Therefore, need not complicate with usage of complicated verbs. We can easily say that talks about skimp, because here though it is a sentence starting with since, the restaurants is a plural verb, a plural noun, and it will take a plural verb. Therefore, we have taken rarely skimp. This skims, it means single noun. Let's go to the next question. With the help of the Matthew Regional Medical Center, middle school students in Gateway, Alaska observe intubation and sets bones. Now this is basically a parallel structure question. This is basically a parallel structure question. Here, first thing is we are going to talk about Alaska. Alaska is a noun here or subject here. Observe intubation. So we are basically talking about observe there. Now here we are going to use observe. Therefore, here also we have to use the same format. Therefore, we'll take 4 as the right option. Let's go to the next question. Some it foolish to build one's own would consider at air balloon to travel around the world. Others might call it a brilliant way to avoid rising rates in air travel. Let's check the options and find. Here, check the question. What would you say? Some it foolish. So it is for some. Add this. For some, it's foolish to build one's own. Consider hot air balloon. It's hot air balloon to travel around the world. Has considered is the right option. Let's go to the next one. If Margaret can spend a week in the wilderness, she surely possesses the fortitude to deal with the spider in her bathtub. Here, it's a week. In this question, it says she surely possesses. Therefore, it is the right usage and no change is the right option because singular, it's a singular verb, and we are going to talk about something we don't have and we need is there. Therefore, this is the right option. Therefore, is the right option. Hiking Machu Picchu in Peru, most hikers find that altitude sickness is a greater challenge than the intensity of the climb. Now we are talking about hiking Machu Picchu in Peru. Now we are talking about hikers, and hikers is plural. Therefore, we have to give a plural verb. Therefore, the option is find. The third option. Clear? Let's go to the next question. Although calzones often contain the same ingredients as pizza, they are much easy to hold and present a much more subdued package. Now see the options here. Here also it's the same thing. We have calzones and it is singular verb, singular noun. Therefore, we'll take it's a plural noun. Therefore, we'll take a plural verb. For no option is the right answer. Let's go to the next one. A recent experiment revealed that hungry mosquitoes first hone in on smell and then on warmth. Thus, body odor may play a key role in being more desirable to the bugs. If you are smelling good, then you'll have a lot of bugs coming to you. So let's see. We're talking about mosquitoes, and mosquitoes are plural in number because we have an yes there. So therefore, the answer is 3. First, hoon. The next one is, despite claims that Columbus' journey to the Americas was filled with harsh weather, records show that the seas were fairly calm for the duration of the trip. Here also, we are talking about claims Columbus' journey. It's a singular one. Therefore, to the Americas was filled with harsh weather. Records show, because now here records is basically a plural verb, plural noun. We are going to have a plural verb there. Therefore, no change is the right option. Now, let's take the last one. In 1906, President Theodore Roosevelt revised 300 words that was thought to be too complex. The President felt words like honor, center and travel should be simplified, hence the deviation of American spellings from the British counterpart. We often come across words like school, SKOOL in US format and SCHOOL in the US format, in the British format. In the same way, the spelling of color, COLOUR in British format and COLOR in US format. Now, even when you're setting your keyboard, if your keyboard has UK spellings, you will generally see the spelling mistakes coming up. Wherever you have to use S, it shows Z, and if you have to use Z, it shows yes. So that is because of deviation that it talks about. Okay, so let's see the option here. Now here they are talking about words, therefore answer for this is were. Now, I hope whatever I was trying to tell you about the subject-verb agreement is clear, and I hope the session was informative and you understood the right usage. We have also discussed at length the rules and have done some exercises too. This will definitely help you to solve to ace the verbal evidence-based writing and solve this kind of questions. Thank you so much. I hope this was informative, and get back to me if you have any. Thank you.